In today's video, we are reacting to the video of the fastest growing ever Roblox dev on Roblox. That means if you can leave a like and subscribe, it's going to be an awesome reaction video. And stay tuned because we're going to watch it. And yeah, if you do want to watch it without me pausing, I'm going to pause it quite a lot. There's going to be a link in the description to watch the video full on. Let's crack on. Let's get right in today's video. Let's go! Okay, let's get right in today's video. Let's press play. Okay, let's go.
This is Minitoon, bowtie aficionado and the developer who holds the title of fastest game to reach 1 billion visits on Roblox, accumulating numerous awards and being celebrated as one of the most influential developers the platform has ever seen. Minitoon has continuously produced vibrant storylines in some of the most legendary games on Roblox. Now, to begin, we have to go back to where it all began. Nah, just kidding. You really thought I was gonna start every video the exact same way? Well, you're actually completely right, because originality is hard. But anyways, Minitoon got his start on Roblox way back in the ancient times, joining on November 24th,
2011? I was like 2 years old then. But then I was 2 years old.
2011. That's over 10 years ago. I just gotta say though, he's not more ancient than me because I joined on September 9th, 2010, subtle flex. So that makes me cooler by default, I'm gonna be honest. Minitoon began learning how to make Roblox games very early. Getting started with scripting, he initially downloaded free models, essentially ripping them apart to learn how the code works and piecing them back together piece by piece. Eventually, using this knowledge, Minitoon decided that he was finally ready to release his first project, a game known as Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese. This game would be Minitoon's first small taste of success, given that it was his first game to reach over 100k visits, which many new devs consider a massive
Well, I didn't know he made this. This is quite cool.
Milestone. Honestly, it was actually pretty fun. It's very similar to the super popular Five Nights at Freddy's games, as you can probably see.
Yeah.
However, I still think that Minitoon did a good job putting his own spin on the popular classic. Like, for real, you guys absolutely cannot tell me that you did not get Five Nights at Freddy's vibes when this dude walked out at your 5th birthday party. My man Chuck was definitely the OG nightmare fuel, and I will die on that hill. He soon began to establish connections with other developers in the community, all the while learning as much as he could regarding Roblox game development. He continued learning for a few years, creating a few less notable, smaller projects to improve on his scripting and building, but these few years of learning definitely helped propel his career forward immensely, eventually resulting in the release of a few SCP games. These games are actually still out today, featuring a small but very dedicated player base. Site 35 was the former of these two games, featuring a traditional round-based player versus player SCP game. As you can see here in the lobby, there are tons of people that contributed to this project. You can even see Minitoon up there, although I'm not too sure what's going on with his outfit at the moment. You'd have to ask the man himself for that one. Next, SCP contained
what the heck? Is that actually
breach? What's going on with his outfit at the moment? You'd have to
what the heck? Minitoon, I like, where's the hat? Where's the hat? I like your hat or something. Like, where's the pink clothes, like piggy?
Ask the man himself for that one. Next, SCP Containment Breach, released around a year later with similar gameplay but immensely more content. It quite clearly took heavy inspiration from a similar game by the same name, but regardless, it's extremely fun and pretty well made. Also, as a small little side note, there is actually a now private game that Minitoon released all the way back in 2017 called Potate Game. You could play as Mr. P from Piggy well before the actual game was released. And this means that Mr. P was likely one of the first models ever made for the game. As I said, it's now private, but luckily our favorite Piggy YouTuber Creekcraft got access a few years ago, and what was in the game was pretty funny. OG Roblox players instantly recognized the map, which was actually ripped straight from those Survive Area 51 games.
I was gonna say that. It does look a bit like that.
For a while. But anyways, I'm not sure what the actual point of this game was, given that there was just random gear strewn everywhere, but I think it's still definitely interesting to see one of the earliest appearances.
What the heck? What the heck is this? Like, all the Mr. Potatoes are on like a helicopter.
Of a Piggy character on Roblox. These two games would serve as Minitoon's foundation within the horror genre on Roblox. While they were moderately successful, they would absolutely pale in comparison to the success that Minitoon would have just a few short years later. One day he was messing around in various Peppa Pig horror games on Roblox and decided that he could take this idea and run with it. And run with it he did. Piggy released on January 28th, 2020 to a landslide of success. With the release of Piggy, Minitoon added arguably the most recognized chapter in the entire game, which he titled House. Players absolutely
Chapter 1. If you play Piggy. I didn't play Piggy. Yeah, because I'm bad.
Loved it, falling in love with the simple gameplay loop and consistently
I'm
coming
bad.
back to find out what happens
I'm
next
bad
in
at
the
Piggy.
storyline. Minitoon did not let the hype die, as he would go on to consistently release chapters almost weekly over the next few months. He had built a horror gaming empire, but this would just be the beginning for Piggy. On April 15th, 2020, not even 3 months after the game released, Piggy would be crowned with the title of fastest game to reach 1 billion visits on
Fastest game. Maybe does
platform. A title
like
which Piggy actually still holds to this day.
something.
Minitoon immediately took to Twitter to thank his community for all of the support, stating that the Piggy community is entirely responsible for his success. I just gotta say, what a good dude. Regardless of this seemingly overnight celebrity status bestowed upon him, Minitoon did not let off the gas whatsoever. He continued putting out consistent updates, with the end of Book 1 capitulating towards the end of May in Chapter 12. Millions of people joined the game to witness the epic conclusion to Piggy's 3-month journey so far, and it would not disappoint. Videos of Piggy's ending in Chapter 12 were accumulating millions of views across social media, and it left players with one burning question: what would be next for Piggy? Minitoon would soon answer this question with the release of build mode, a unique feature that allowed players to create their own maps in Piggy. It also served as a sort of distraction to keep players entertained until Minitoon could get Book 2 finished. Book 2, Chapter 1 released on September 12th, 2020 and marked what I would consider to be the beginning of the end for Piggy, as the game's storyline was becoming increasingly complex and difficult to follow for Piggy's mostly younger audience. However, I would just like to clarify that when I say the beginning of the end, I'm referring to a downturn in player count, not saying that the game died. After all, Piggy still averages like 30,000 players some days, so if that's dead, sign me up. Minitoon kept releasing story chapters as well as creating unique seasonal events within the game. In October, Piggy had its first Halloween event, a trend that would continue.
Hopefully doors it's not like that. Please don't go down doors. Please, can you keep making updates like chapter door, floor 2, floor 3, floor like a full like blown chapter or something like that. About the game.
Continue with other major holidays in the upcoming years. This was around the time that Piggy began to expand into the real world, most prominently in the form of toys and other merchandise. Collaboration with various toy companies, Minitoon released a ton of action figures, plushies, and more. I'm sure if you've walked into your local Walmart and headed over to the toy section lately, you've likely seen an entire segment of the aisle dedicated exclusively to Piggy toys. Piggy was continuing to revolutionize Roblox gaming, further reinforcing its status as a cult classic on Roblox. There were even Piggy building sets that came out in late 2020, and as someone who absolutely loved Lego as a kid, I think that's pretty cool. Each Piggy toy came with a redeemable DLC code that gave you in-game skins and currency along with your toy. The recognizable characters reimagined in the form of toys, coupled with the in-game incentives, resulted in the merchandise practically flying off the shelves. Overall, Minitoon has released dozens of merchandise items over the past few years, and honestly, you know you've made it when your toys are in stores like Target and Walmart. And you never know, maybe one day I'll have my own plushies in Walmart. It was around this time when Minitoon largely began to slow down with updates. Instead of the weekly releases we saw in Book 1, updates were sometimes taking over a month to come out. Finally, on November 24th, 2022, Minitoon released the sad but inevitable series of tweets that had been expected for a while now. Piggy would no longer be updated. Citing reasons such as creative limitation, feeling burnt out, and just an overall loss of love for the game, Minitoon announced his departure from working on Piggy. The Piggy fanbase was absolutely devastated, but luckily Minitoon didn't leave us in the dark, as he confirmed that other games were in the works as well. Further Piggy Intercity and Iron Assault updates were implied, as well as a brand new story-based series. And in all honesty, if Piggy taught us anything, it's that we should be on the edge of our seats for any new Minitoon game. And I'm genuinely excited to see what he has in the works.
You know what, guys, when any other projects like that story game will come out, I will be playing it. I will be playing the game on the channel. Okay? And stay tuned. Okay.
The hype has largely died down. Minitoon hasn't let that stop him from creating experiences. In fact, just this month, Piggy had a collaboration with one of the most legendary metal bands of all time, Metallica.
Remember that.
It just goes to show that regardless of current player count, a game's legacy is ultimately what is taken into consideration for partnerships. Even today, just as I'm wrapping up editing this video, Minitoon has announced a new partnership with U2's, posting this teaser on Twitter. Overall, Minitoon is largely applauded for not having excessive game passes and other microtransactions in his games. He simply created games, coming from a love of development.
Yeah.
I think that this is the best way to go about things, because if you do what you love consistently, more often than not, the money will come eventually. To sum things up, Minitoon has proven time and time again that he is one of the most legendary developers the platform has ever seen.
I will say that. I will actually say that now. The Splash, Minitoon, Preston, all up there.
Just a genuinely good person, and has proven that while success can take time, it is entirely achievable with dedication, hard work, and perseverance. All it takes is a silly game idea inspired by Peppa Pig. And with that, please subscribe if you enjoyed.
That's a sick video. But yeah, that was a sick video. Okay, guys, that was a sick video. But yeah, okay.
If you did enjoy today's video, just don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It's completely free. And yeah, if you do want to see any more reaction on the video, just make sure you keep subscribing and like. We get enough likes, I do more reaction videos like this on the channel. No, I'll see you next time on the FC channel. Bye bye, peace out.